and the Federal Capital Territory, including beneficiaries drawn from Veterans of the Defense and Police Officers' Wife Association. The executive chairman of the Ekiti State Internal Revenue Service, Mr. Olaniran Olatono, has clarified key provisions of the National Tax Reform Act, assuring residents that low-income earners have nothing to fear as implementation begins on January 1st, 2026. Speaking at the press conference in Ado-Ekiti, Olatono explained that individuals earning below 800,000 naira annually will be exempted from payment of personal income tax under the new law. The Nigerian Labour Congress, Ekiti State chapters, yesterday joined their counterparts across the country in a solidarity protest against the rising wave of insecurity in Nigeria. The protest, which took place in Ado-Ekiti, was led by the Ekiti State Chairman of the NLC, Comrade Kolapo Olatunde, who called on both the federal and state government to take urgent and decisive steps to address worsening security challenges nationwide. The Lagos State government has announced temporary road closures on Lagos Island ahead of the 7th road edition of the Lagos Auto Fest 2025 race, scheduled for Sunday, December 21st. A traffic advice released by the Commissioner for Transportation, Oluwaseun Osiyemi, stated that vehicular movement around Inner Marina Road, and Kakara Street will be restricted between 12 noon and 7 p.m. Following an attack on Ora Igbomina and Ocean Community bordering Kwara State, Governor Demola Adeleke has placed the police and military on red alert to prevent further security breaches. The Nation reports that gunmen invaded Ora Igbomina in Ifedayo local government area of Ocean State, kidnapping a retired customs officer, Prince Emmanuel Owolabi, and attacking residents as well as travelers along Akisa Road, close to Ayedu town in Kwara State. The federal government has inaugurated the core working group on regional development in Nigeria, a key step in operationalizing President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda. The CWG SACS with driving coordinated and harmonized implementation of regional development initiatives across the Federation. Its primary mandate includes providing technical leadership, strategic alignment, and operational oversight for the program. According to a statement from the ministry, the Minister of Regional Development, Mr. Abubakar Momo, praised President Tinubu's commitment to balanced growth and inclusive national development. It described regional development commissions as a strategic tool to address long-standing development gaps while responding to evolving socio-economic and security challenges across the country. livestock and agricultural stakeholders have urged the federal government to accelerate the phased development of grazing reserves across the country, calling for at least one reserve in each of Nigeria's 6 geopolitical zones. They described the initiative as a positive step toward addressing long-standing challenges in the livestock sector. The appeal followed the federal government's launch of a phased grazing reserve development program, with pilot projects currently underway at Wawa Zange in Gombe State, Wase in Plateau State, and Kawu in Bari Area Council of the Federal Capital Territory. According to the Ministry of Livestock Development, the program has been implemented in collaboration with relevant ministries, state government, and the private sector. The ministry said the reserves would be equipped with essential infrastructure, including quality public schools for pastoralist children, access roads, and public healthcare facilities. The Nyesom Wike-backed People's Democratic Party Caretaker Committee has dissolved the executives of 14 state chapters and announced plans to hold fresh congresses in January 2026. The committee, led by Acting National Chairman Mohammed Abdulrahman and Acting National Secretary Senator Samuel Anyanwu, maintained that their leadership remains the only legitimate structure recognized by the party. The decision was disclosed in a communique read by the Acting Publicity Secretary, Aruna Jangun, following the committee's meeting on Thursday evening, December 18th in Abuja. Following up in business, Nigerians trade with other countries in the economic community of West African states by 43% rose year-on-year to 6.9 trillion naira in the first 9 months of the year from 4.82 trillion naira in the corresponding period of 2024. Analysis of data in the foreign trade in goods statistics report recently released by the National Bureau of Statistics showed that the significant growth in trade was as a result of a 37.6% year-on-year rise in exports to 6.14 trillion naira from 4.46 trillion. In entertainment, Nigerian music star Davido has been announced as the headline performer for the kick-off concert of the 2025 African Cup of Nations. The Confederation of African Football announced on Thursday, December 18, 2025, as part of its activities commemorating the football tournament. According to CAF, the event will take place on Saturday, December 20th, 2025 in Rabat. In sport, Nigerian Super Eagles have adjusted their preparation plans in Fes, Morocco after a delayed arrival on Thursday necessitated changes to the team's training schedule ahead of the 2025 African Cup of Nations. Officials confirmed that the Thursday's planned training session was moved due to the team's later than expected arrival in Fes, prompting coaching staff to recalibrate the schedule to ensure players maintain peak physical and tactical readiness. To compensate, the Super Eagles will hold 2 training sessions on Friday, with the first session kicking off at 10 a.m. and the second scheduled for 6 p.m. Finally, on the foreign scene, Venezuela's ambassador to the UN, Samuel Moncada, has criticized US President Donald Trump's recent claims about his country's resources as a monstrous violation of international law. Addressing the 80th section of the UN General Assembly on the International Day Against Colonialism on Thursday, Moncada demanded that Washington respect the UN Charter. His remarks follow Trump's assertions that Venezuela's land and oil resources effectively belong to the U.S. and must be surrendered. The diplomat described the White House rhetoric as a monstrous offense to civilized norms, suggesting it represents a return to 19th century imperialist policies. And that's Ayaba Newsroom highlights edited by Compassion Adebayo. I am Moyosola Zubar. Thank you for listening.
Number 1. There's something magical about those two words. For you to be number one radio station, you've got to be number one in the reading book of your listener. The number one station that can rely on for up-to-date news, sport news, maximum entertainment. You can